So how does embodiment work apply to coaching? I train a lot of coaches myself that are often very interested in this work, and they see the application. So we're just going to spend 10 minutes talking through some of those, some of our kind of top tips for coaches. The first thing I'd say is just involving the body in any way is very useful. You don't have to be an embodiment expert. Many coaches will just say, hey, how do you feel right now in your body? Just bringing that bit of awareness to the body often creates a profoundly different kind of coaching at a much deeper level than simply, you know, working on the level of opinions and words and those kind of things. Yeah. Some of the simple tools we've worked with as well, like coaching in different positions. You know, why not coach walking if you want to get something moving? Why not coach standing up or lying down? You don't have to coach sitting in chairs like this the whole time, yeah? So working with body position, things like centering. I know for me, if I do a little centering exercise with a client before a piece of, say, phone coaching, that just goes so much better than if I don't. It gives them a moment to settle in, to ground themselves. What's important for me in this coaching? You know, the classic questions, what do I want to get from this coaching session? Goes so much better after a little bit of centering beforehand. And many of these things I do on the phone. You know, I've coached people all over the world, and not even via Skype. Sometimes just on the phone, you can still involve the body. Anything you want to say about sort of top tips?
I think that there's two things that I most commonly use in coaching. One is around centering, teaching centering, and then embedding it over time. Because really it's something that can seem so straightforward, so simple, and yet it can have such a profound effect on people's experience of themselves and their lives and their effectiveness. That if someone gets that, if someone understands that, how big a difference it might make, that then helping them to embed it as a practice and make it a consistent part of their lives over time can make a big, big difference to how their impact occurs in the workplace and in their lives. And then the other piece that I use most frequently is around when someone wants to change something. They want to be more confident. They want to change how aggressive they are under certain circumstances. They want to shift how nervous they get. They want to have a conversation and have it more skillfully. And most commonly I work with that through the body. So getting them to embody the state, to get into the state that doesn't work so well for them, whether that's nervousness, aggression, being ungrounded or uncentered or wobbly or whatever that might look like, getting them to embody that and then helping them to identify what happens in their body when they do that, and then helping them to find out what the state is that will work better. So they can then practice moving from the state that doesn't work so well towards the state that doesn't work so better, and backwards and forwards, so they can build skill in moving towards the state that's going to be best for them under the circumstances, that's going to be most functionally effective. And that practice of moving backwards and forwards between states can be, again, profound for people, and it gives them a very simple key into shifting their state under pressure.
I think some key things there for me as well, like the power of practice to build a way of being rather than just have a sort of psychological insight, working with states and working with pressure. So being able to bring the dialogue of pressure in. Often coaching is in a very relaxed environment, and you know, life is often pressured. Certainly most of the modern workplaces I've worked in, that's the case. So there's a few key things there for me as well. Yeah, sometimes introducing one of the models can be useful as well, sort of something like the 4 elements or yin and yang. It doesn't take a lot of explaining, and you know, you can walk through it, getting them to show the movements, and very quickly people will say, even in a very moderate way, they'll very quickly say, oh yeah, that one's me, or that one's, you know, difficult for me. And having that experiential felt sense of something rather than just talking about it, it just cuts to a much deeper level of coaching straight away. And you don't need huge skill in you know, reading bodies or adjusting bodies to be able to point people to their own experience, I think. So that would be my kind of top tip, I'd say, for people, is point clients to their own bodily experience. Yeah.